Did you get him? That's an Apache. Last Minute Man, coming to you from the studio. I'm with my good buddy, Mr. Obvious. And Mr. Obvious, what are we talking about today?
Oh, the primary arms
SLX.
SLX is what, yeah.
It's a 3-power scope. It's a micro prism. So, you know, I've watched a lot of videos on the YouTubes here about the different micro prism scopes, and guys seem to really be ranting and raving about this primary arms SLX 3-power. So I wanted to give it a try, and what really sparked my interest, you know, I used a Trichcon ACOG for years, and a guy was saying, man, this is as good as an ACOG. And at its price point, it doesn't have to be better than an ACOG because it's about a quarter of the price of an ACOG.
Yeah.
So you can get these for around $319, $320, around there is what you see them mostly for. I bought this one at American Gun and Pawn, located in Dry Ridge, Kentucky, and they gave me a really good deal on it. So if you're looking for one of these, give them a call, and they'll hook you up. So, but anyway, it's a pretty good scope. I like it. Is it an ACOG? From what I can tell so far, no. it's not an $1,800 scope.
No.
The clarity on this is good. I would call it good to very good, but an ACOG is very good to unbelievably good. You know, I mean, it's a lot nicer. So the real question is whether or not this thing, the bullet drop compensator, is accurate. I got one for this LR308 that we have built here, and we're going to run this on there and see if the bullet drop compensator is working correctly. We're only going to go out to 200 today, and we'll be doing a 400 and a run and gun upcoming. But yeah, just check out, see if it's tracking correctly, see if the bullet drop compensator is working correctly, and just see how both Mr. Obvious and I function using this. And I also took out that terrible 7 to 8 pound trigger pull that I had, and I put in a Rise Armament law enforcement trigger group, and it's just a drop-in trigger, and it's real nice. I like it. We're about 4.5 pounds now, so that's going to help us a lot on our accuracy. But anything you need to add, Mr. Obvious?
Yeah. Let's get to shooting.
All right. All right, so we're out here shooting at the 100-yard target, and we'll go ahead and pop that up on the screen, and you can see where we've been hitting. We zeroed it first at 40 yards, and I had bore sighted it before, you know, it was completely mounted, and it was actually doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We were about an inch to the right, but as per usual, at 100, that bullet's rising. So you can see I put 3 shots out there, and they're shooting pretty tight. I've just been moving it. These are 1/4 minutes each click. So I've just been moving it a couple times to see if it tracks. We have now moved it quite a bit. I moved it six clicks down this time. So, and again, we're shooting with this IMI system stuff, 150 grain. It's pretty warm. That's why I like it. But I'm going to get out here and shoot now at the 100 after we've made our adjustment. Let's see if it's tracking. You ready, Mr. Obvious?
I'm ready.
All right. I got the fog of war happening here. All right, here we go.
Fire in the hole.
It looks like I'm just above center that time.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is take it down. What would you say, Mr. Obvious?
Yeah, I'd bring it down probably 2 clicks.
All right.
To the left, 1 click.
Okay. And we're going to let this cool. And we'll come right back at you. But I like the barrel to get nice and cool in between the shots when I'm zeroing like this, because you want your cold shot to be the one that's dead on accurate. Correct, Mr. Obvious?
Yep.
That first shot matters. So we're going to give it a break here for a couple minutes, and we'll be right back. So we've made our adjustment. It's cooled off a couple minutes here, and I'm going to take another shot. Let's see how and where it moved. It's a nice rainy day today, so we're getting a lot of fog in these glasses. All right. Ready, Mr. Obvious?
Fire in the hole.
Here we go. That looks right in there to me. So let Mr. Obvious take a look.
That is pert near dead center.
Mr. Obvious and I went down and painted the target. So they're at the 175-yard target. You can see it's painted. We got the picture-in-picture up. I'm going to put 3 shots on that. And I'm going to be using and I'll flash this up on screen real quick, how the bullet drop compensator works. But I'll be using the 200-meter zero there. And actually, I'm going to be shooting low on the target because this is at 175 yards, not 200 meters. So I ought to just stick with the 100, but we're going to see how it does. I'm going to see if I can Kentucky windage this and get close to a center shot anyway. And do a 3-shot group and see how she does. Mr. Obvious, we ready?
We are ready.
All right. Rounds are in.
Fire in the hole.
Fire in the hole.
No rear sandbag, just going off freehand.
Oh, I overshot. I'm trying to shoot too fast.
Shot too fast.
All right, but it's shot high left.
High left.
So I'm going to put one more at the 100 here and just see where I'm tracking. Okay, so we got this barrel nice and hot. Now I'm going to go back to the 100 here and see if we're still hitting center, see if this scope has moved or something on it. Well, it kind of looks like I'm still right there.
Yeah, just above the black. So yeah, you're pretty close.
Okay, so what we're finding is the limitations of either the scope or the ammunition. Now this is what I would call like a military grade, like a machine gunner grade ammunition. You're not going to shoot, if you've got a minute of angle gun, you're probably not going to hit a minute of angle with this stuff. That's kind of been our experience. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Roberts?
Yeah. But it don't do too bad.
It's not bad.
No.
You're an easy 2 minutes
Yeah.
with it. But, you know, I'm hitting a lot higher and to the left out there. The only way we're going to get this for sure is when we set up our 400-yard target and kind of see where we're hitting there. So that's going to be upcoming. We see it is holding zero there at 100. I'm very happy with this. The scope is shooting great, but let's get back for an AAR and talk about it some. And we are back with our after action report. And what do we have to report today, Mr. Obvious?
Well, it's obvious. I'm going to report we done some tracking on it, and it seemed like it was tracking pretty good. When we moved it a few clicks, the bullet moved a few clicks. So yeah, I was kind of impressed about that.
Yeah, so that's accurate. Quarter minute. You were saying as far as minute of angles, you were expecting it to move a little differently.
Little more, but it's probably set up, like I said, meters or something like that.
Well, it is. It's 100 meters, not 100
so
yards.
it's not tracking exactly the MOA I would want it to track.
But it's shooting fine. It works good with this platform. Now, when we went out there to 175 yards, and I'll splash this up on screen again real quick. You can see the bullet drop, the way it's worked, it's in meters. And, you know, I was kind of using that 200 meter point on the target. Probably should have just continued to use the 100 and it would have been fine. But anyway, the only way we're going to know for sure is by getting out at our 400 yard range and shooting out there and seeing how that bullet drop's functioning. And we'll have that upcoming. I'm going to be practicing with this, shooting it quite a bit. So we'll do a run and gun with it and the 400 on the same day. But I want to kind of put this through its paces. This is mounted to my, you know, the ship hits the sand, you know, scenario. So this, I like to say it's got everything on it I need, nothing I don't. You know, this foregrip I actually had overseas, and I had this attached to my M4 unnecessarily, but I had it, and you know, this won't stay on here. I've actually got a little flashlight I put on here, but yeah, you know, I'll probably need to put some 45-degree iron sights on here, and I found out I bought a cheap set of them, and those don't work.
No.
So you got to get it. You got to spend money on this stuff. So, but yeah, I want this to be as light as I can keep it. And, you know, I'm going to put me a good sling on it. But the Rise Armament Law Enforcement trigger is outstanding. Guys, that took it from like a 7.5 pound. I was getting 8 pound pulls sometimes with it. That took it from that to a consistent 4.5.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very pleased with this. It's not so light that I'm concerned about getting like primer strikes. You know, these are boxer primered here, and it fired those just fine.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm pleased with it overall. You know, and the more I get practice with it, the more I get to play with it, the more I can vet this scope. Yeah. And vet my loadout here, and we'll see how it works for me. But Mr. Obvious, you tell us what you think.
Well, the only thing I had an issue with on it, of course, is it's not the scope, it's the eyesight. He focused it for his eyesight.
Yeah.
Then he was going to have me shoot the gun, and so I said, no sense in me shooting it. So we didn't do a video on that, because when I looked through it, I could see a double prism in it.
Yeah.
And everything was blurry, so blurry, I'm like, I'd have to refocus this for my eyes, and that was with my glasses or without my glasses. So something's going on with the eyesight through this thing that usually we don't have an issue with other scopes.
No, and well, you'll see this with anyone you shoot with, especially if somebody wears bifocals. Your point of aim and the way you're looking through that scope is probably going to be different from mine. And you know, when you're getting into something like this, it's actually got pretty good eye relief. They say 1 3/4, but I'm getting more like 2-inch eye relief in this, and it's working fine for me. I understand what you're saying, and yeah, we were kind of okay. We're getting this zeroed to my eye, and he's like, you know, I don't want to throw it out of whack and everything. So, yeah. But so for you, you're not a big fan of the scope so far.
No, the scope's fine. I mean, I like it. It's just not set up for me, for my eyesight.
I'll tell you a con for me on the scope. This cantilever mount that they have on here, it feels solid. I mean, everything on this feels real solid. I use blue Loctite on anything that mounts to my rifle. And there'll be people that argue that, whatever. I use blue Loctite. These things have a lot of pressure running through them, a lot of vibration. If you're running and gunning with it and stuff, trust me, folks, they will rattle loose, you know. And I Loctited everything in the Army, and it comes off with just hand tools. You don't got to torch it to get that blue Loctite off. You know, it comes off, okay? But it's just peace of mind for me. I Loctite anything that's not like the trigger mechanism or something. You don't want to Loctite stuff in there, because if that gets into the trigger, you know. but you get what I'm saying. So I make sure I Loctite anything that mounts onto the Picatinny rail. And but what I'm concerned with here is this cantilever. As solid as it feels, it just looks like it would be delicate. You know, like if I drop this in the grass over there, I'm running and I drop my rifle, I doubt this would move, but if I drop it on concrete, would it bend? Yeah. You know? And I'm not a wealthy man, so I'm not going to sit here and beat this over the hood of a car or something to, you know, to see how tough it is. There are a few guys online that have done reviews on this, and they, quote, torture tested them, and I saw one guy drop it, and the mount did start to move. You know, and he said, basically, you can buy Trigicom mounts that plug right up to this. Yeah. And but now you're talking an awful large expense for mounts, and now it's mounting to the point where maybe just get a Trigicom, you know. But I can say for that, you know, $320 mark, I'm happy with this scope. It feels like a durable scope. Any prism scope is going to be durable by its design. It's got less stuff in there that's gonna kind of get cattywampus and out of shape. The reticle is etched into the glass, so like Mr. Obvious was saying, why not just a red dot within that 200 yard? And I've shown him I can shoot a red dot pretty accurately out to 400, And, I've trained with it a lot on that. However, red dots require batteries. And if I'm talking about a reel without rule of law, prolonged, and I know, pick your flavor, guys, whatever fantasy you have, whatever you think's going to happen. I'm saying, even 3 to 5 weeks without batteries, and you're using this thing every day, batteries can go bad. They can wear out on you. I don't care how many hours it says. Things can happen. So if my batteries should go out, because it has a lit reticle, but if they should go out, I've still got the etched glass reticle in there.
You can still see it. It's in black instead of red, and then when you turn it on, it turns red. So.
Yep.
But it's there to stay.
Yep. And, so I'm very happy with it. This is, I think, kind of hard to beat for its price point. And as I said, when we get out there and do a 400 yard and a run and gun with it, I'll have more opinions. But I will be practicing with this a lot in the coming weeks. So I wanna do some more run and gun with it, and put on a good show for you guys. That way, because I've got plenty of 308 ammo to blow. So not that I want to, but I have to. You've got to train. It's something. It's a necessity, folks. But I do want to add one thing that I forgot to mention in our last video. If you are one of our subscribers and you have content, if you make content, I would love to give you a shout out. And Swedesen, one of our viewers, he put together his own run and gun, and he did a really good job. And I'll try to put a link of it in the description below, going to that. So check him out, give him some views, and subscribe. I know we've got a couple others. One of them, he probably doesn't need us to intro for him, but he's got a lot of subscribers. But I'm going to try to put together a compilation of everybody that I know is a content creator, and like to put you guys out there if you want me to. So let me know if you guys are making content, if you're doing shooting videos or anything like that, and you want it out there. We would be more than happy to post you on here and give you a quick shout out, and because we appreciate all of you, all of our subscribers. We appreciate you. We are not monetized. We don't do this for monetization purposes. Sure, that'd be great if I could quit working and just play with guns all day. But I don't see that in the future for us. We're more like everybody's local band that they really like, and we'll probably never get discovered, but we don't care.
We're not trying to hog the channel up. We're out here to have fun with everybody.
That's exactly right. And if you're making content, we'd love to give you a shout out. And like I said, it's not like we're the most recognizable guys in the world, but we do have a little following, and we appreciate it. And we do this for the beer money, folks. That's it. We have a good time doing this. So we have fun. We appreciate all of you. Mr. Obvious, anything you want to add?
No, not really. We're getting long anyway, and you're probably tired of listening at us.
All right. All right. So with that, everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry.
Subscribe to Last Minute Man and watch us on
Rumble.